succeeded. When the British were leaving, the Muslims of India had a leadership. It was not a perfect leadership, no. It was a leadership which made mistakes, yes. But it was a leadership which was largely directed towards a post-British India in which Muslims will remain faithful to the truth which has come from Allah. That's all. That's all. That when the British leave, that Muslims should be able to live in accordance with the truth which has come from Allah. That's all. And the leader of the Hindu world, yeah, he also made mistakes, like we all made mistakes, yeah. His name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and the Hindu world bestowed on him the title that no one else has got. They call him Mahatma, the great soul. Mahatma. And he said, but I want the same thing. The Muslim wants a Khilafah state, meaning, what is a Khilafah state? If you don't know in India, listen to me before you follow your own wrong opinion. A Khilafah state is a state which is built on the foundations of truth which has come from Allah, and which functions in accordance with that truth. That is a Khilafah state. A Khilafah state is not a state that wants to rule the world. No. Where did you get that rubbish from? And so Gandhi wanted a Hindu Khilafah state. And the Muslims wanted an Islamic Khilafah state. They wanted the same thing. So that after the British leave, the Muslims will live in accordance with Islam, and the Hindus live in accordance with the truth in Hinduism. But the British could not allow that. And the servants of Shaitan, those who are paid to work overtime for Shaitan, they didn't want that. So they had to get rid of Gandhi. Oh yeah, and he was killed. And when he was killed, they celebrated it. Like when Nabi Isa alayhi salam, they saw him crucified, there were those who celebrated. He's dead. He could not have been the Messiah. Similarly, when Gandhi was assassinated, there were those who celebrated because he stood in the way of what they wanted. They wanted a different kind of Hinduism, which would deviate from the truth which has come from the Lord God. And so when Gandhi made his alliance with the Khilafat movement, a Hindu-Muslim alliance emerged in India. And it became the most phenomenal force ever to confront modern Western civilization in its entire history. Up to this day, only now do we have a Russian-Chinese alliance which confronts them with a greater force than the alliance of Muslims and Hindus in the Khilafat movement. If Gandhi had not been killed, then when the British left, there would have been a Hindu state in which Hindus would have lived faithful to the truth in Hinduism. And if the Khilafat movement had not been demolished by the British and by Mustafa Kemal, and by others whose names you know, I won't have to mention their name because Pakistanis are very sensitive about it. And if the Khilafat movement had not been demolished, then the Muslims in India would have had a state, and these two states could have been one state federated with each other, yeah, in which the Muslims would have lived in accordance with Islam, the Hindus would have lived in accordance with Hinduism, and there would have been friendship. an alliance between them. It would have been a powerful state. But the shaitan didn't want that.